The accessory gearbox has two major functions. It contains the gears necessary for driving both the accessories and the power output, and is the main structural member of the engine. The gearbox casing consists of two castings, the housing, which is the part facing the front of the engine, and the cover facing the rear of the engine. Mounted on the gearbox housing are the compressor assembly, oil filter assembly, ignition exciter, N1 and N2 tach generators, and the start counter. The forward end of the power output shaft is located here. Oil fittings on the gearbox housing include the inlet from the aircraft-mounted oil tank, outlet to the tank, the number 1 bearing outlet, and return inlet, oil pressure sensor, magnetic chip detector plug, oil tank vent, and the torque meter pressure sensing fitting. On the cover, or rear side of the accessory gearbox, are mounted the turbine section of the engine, the gas producer fuel control, the starter generator, fuel pump, and the power turbine governor. The rear power output shaft is here. Some engines have a spare pad for an accessory to be driven by the gas producer gear train. Oil fittings on the gearbox cover are the pressure supply to the number 6, number 7, and number 8 bearings, return oil from the number 8 bearing, and return oil from the number 6 and 7 bearings. There is also an overboard vent which relieves the pressure in the oil tank. Inside the accessory gearbox housing, in addition to the gears themselves, are the oil pump assembly and torque meter assembly. Since the accessory gearbox is a magnesium alloy casting, steel cages are pressed into the bearing openings to protect the magnesium. The shafts from the accessory gearbox are sealed with spring-loaded lip seals. These seals are removable from outside the gearbox. The seal on the shaft of the air oil separator gear must be replaced from inside the gearbox. The most common problems in the gearbox show up as low oil pressure or high oil consumption. Leaking accessory shaft seals may cause either of these symptoms. You might also see oil blowing out of the gearbox vent. If the gearbox split line is not sealed properly, it could cause a leak, which shows up as excessive oil consumption. Loose fittings or connections could also cause leaks. Pay particular attention to the compressor mounting inserts. If they are loose, oil may leak out.